Gardner Minshew II is a quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. He is the backup behind Jalen Hurts. There's a lot of people, including myself, who've been arguing that Minshew should be an NFL starter somewhere, that he deserves an opportunity after everything that he has done in his career. And if you're asking what has he done in his career, I will read out the stat line, which surprises a lot of people whenever I tell them this. Like, there's a lot of people who don't realize what Minshew's NFL stat line is, and they become perplexed about why he doesn't have a chance to start. 22 NFL starts, 41 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, nearly 6,000 yards, just shy of 6,000 yards passing, a 62.3% completion percentage. And on top of that, we're looking at what? What is it? 7.3 yards per attempt. So Gardner Minshew, no spring chicken either. He's still a bit of a spring chicken. He's only played for 3 years. But he knows football. He's played in a lot of games. His first year, his rookie year, should have won Rookie of the Year over Kyler Murray. I will stand by that. 20 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. 6-6 as a starting quarterback for a team that everyone thought was going nowhere. Tell me I'm wrong about that. Look at Kyler Murray's stats. Look at Kyler Murray's team. Look at Kyler Murray's record that year. Put it against Minshew. The answer is obvious. Minshew should have won Rookie of the Year. Now, we're not here to relitigate that. We're here to talk about what his future might be and what he could do for an NFL team. There's one NFL team that comes to mind, and it is the Seattle Seahawks. They're a team that right now their starting quarterback, I believe, on the roster is Drew Lock. Like you have a competition between Drew Lock and Geno Smith going into training camp. Wouldn't hurt to get an extra arm in there. Wouldn't hurt to get an experienced arm in there. Wouldn't hurt to get a guy who has outplayed both of them in his career, to say the least, who's probably very cheap. Like, here's the thing. If I'm the Eagles, I understand their position of they don't know whether they're all in on Jalen Hurts. But in all likelihood, let's say if they are not all in on Jalen Hurts by the end of this year, they're going to draft a quarterback. We know that. It's not like Gardner Minshew's going to miraculously come out of the woodwork and win the starting job. We saw a guy in Case Keenum for the Minnesota Vikings take the team to the NFC title game. Farther than they have went under almost any quarterback outside of Brett Favre in decades. And yet, still, they moved on from him. And I believe like a lot of people view Gardner Minshew in the same vein. He's a B-plus player. You know, he's a really good hand. He's a really good backup quarterback. When in reality, my player comp for Gardner Minshew is Alex Smith, who kind of had that same weird feel about him. I think that GMs thought that he was a really good game manager, which is, I always hated the bad connotation with the term game manager, because that's literally your job as a quarterback, to manage the game. That is literally your job as a quarterback. You manage the game. Whether you're good or bad, that is the job description. Yes, every quarterback is a game manager. But being a good one and being a bad one, there is a difference. And Gardner Minshew definitely falls on the good one side. Okay? We can all agree on that. When he's given a chance to start, when he's given a chance to play, he plays very good. This past year, he had a 300-yard, 3-touchdown performance as the starting quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles when Jalen Hurts was out. So, again, people are going to have their connotations. The reason that GMs hate Gardner Minshew, the reasons that GMs are so unimpressed with what Gardner Minshew has done so far is because, one, he played on the Jacksonville Jaguars, which people at the time viewed as just a do-nothing team, which they were. They were a trash team. They were a do-nothing team. They assumed that all his stuff was in garbage time, which if you look at the it wasn't. Most of his stuff didn't come in garbage time. He was in a lot of times, he was the reason they were in games. Didn't matter, though. Doesn't matter to GMs, because a lot of them view football in a reductive way. This dude, on top of being a good game manager, is also a great leader. Players love to play for him. Players respect him. He's got that fire. He gets that team fired up. Go look at his stuff when he was in college. He was the bona fide leader of that team. You've also got an opportunity, by the way, if you're an NFL team. That mustache is profitable. Look at that. The aesthetic is profitable. For whatever that's worth. But let's stick to the football. This is a dude who, when the play breaks down, he can get out of the pocket and make a play. Does he have the strongest arm in the NFL? No. Is he accurate? Yep. Does he got tenacity? Yep. Can he move around the pocket? Yep. Can he move around outside the pocket? Yep. Is he clutch? Yep. What box? What other box do you want him to tick? What other box do you want him to tick? All the intangibles you could want that I just listed out, this guy has. Outside of a spectacular arm. Like I'm talking about Pat Mahomes or like one of those, Josh Allen or Aaron Rodgers. No. His arm isn't as strong as those guys, obviously. Everything else is as strong, though. And that's not even saying he has a weak arm. I'm just sick of the reductive lack of appreciation and lack of acknowledgement of Gardner Minshew II. Gardner Flint Minshew II. Acknowledge him, people. Acknowledge him, GMs. Acknowledge him, NFL. Hashtag acknowledge him, NFL. Make that trend. Somebody, somewhere. But look, I think Seattle's a team that obviously makes sense to have Minshew. Do I think that they're going to end up trading for him? No, because I think that Seattle probably has their eye on other people. They probably have their eye on the 2023 NFL draft, which I get why, but you're telling me you don't want to take a chance on a guy who can still develop into something really, really good? Especially when you have a void of leadership on your team? Just saying.
Hey everyone, we hope you liked this video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Until next time, keep it real.